Hey YouTube, thanks for tuning in to today's blog. Today's blog is going to be about boys of all ages, young men, old men. Generally, men pretty much are all the same. Just kidding, but it is going to be about boys. So I hope you guys like it. It's just going to be some things and, some words of wisdom to kind of live by. So I hope you guys appreciate it. It's 5 of them. The first one. Never let a man make you feel weak or inferior because you are an emotional being. Like most women are emotional, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the way we are. There's some things that men are just the way they are about, and being emotional is pretty much how women generally are, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if you find yourself with a guy who is bashing you or making you feel bad because you're emotional and he's telling you don't need to be like that and trying to change you as a person, that's not the man for you. That's not the boy for you. That's not the guy for you. That's not the dude for you. Whatever you want to call him, that's probably not for you, because the man that really loves you and wants to, be with you will accept you for however you are. Now, not all women are emotional. Like myself, I'm not too big on being real emotional, but it doesn't matter. You should still find somebody that accepts you for being even not emotional, because some guys want, to be so bad in a relationship with a girl that's so affectionate and emotional and, all over the top.com. And then, it doesn't work out and they don't want to be with them because they're not like that. But at the end of the day, if you're with a guy, he should accept you for whether you're emotional or not. Second one. Sometimes lust feels like love. Learn the difference. This is really important, because if you're in a lustful relationship, it's not going to work. It'll never work. It's based totally on appearances, and appearances are not everything, because as we all know, aging diminishes appearances. So please understand that you can never have relationships just strictly based on physical assets. It will never work. It will never thrive. There's going to be no conversation. There's going to be nothing good out of that relationship but physical, and that is it. So if you have somebody that you even think might be just totally lustful, move on. Go to somebody that totally loves and appreciates you for you and yourself and what you have to offer. Next one. If he says, if you love me, you would, run. Don't walk. Don't slow poke. Don't collect $300. Don't stop at the stop signs. Don't jog. Don't speed walk. Run in a full-out sprint in the opposite direction. If he's over here, you need to go way over there on the other side of the world, the planet, wherever else you need to go. Because any guy that says that to you, I call it a disclaimer. They're making a disclaimer before they make their next statement, which is what they want you to do. If a guy has to make a disclaimer, like I would use that for women too. If you're making a disclaimer to me 5 times out of 10, you just want me to do something for your benefit. You're not thinking about me. You're thinking about personal gain. And that's not the type of relationship that you want. That's not the type of guys that you should be attracting or want to be around or even want them in your presence. The type of guys that you want will never use that phrase. And if you have to say something back to them, you tell them, and if you love me, you wouldn't ask that of me, and you wouldn't do that. That's a manipulative thing to do. If a guy is doing that to you, he is a predator, and he's preying on you because he knows that phrase will make you do something. And like I have said in my previous blogs, only you wake up with you. Only you go to bed with you. If you know you're going to do something and you possibly might feel bad about it the next day, the next morning, during the night, whatever, don't do it. If you have to think about it too hard, go with your first instinct and your gut. Don't do it. Do something that's going to make you feel proud and stand out in the crowd. Next one, out of my 2 favorites. Number 4. He's not going to change. Stop trying to fix him. Stop arguing. Just stop trying, period. Men are generally who they're going to be by the time they're about 18. So if you meet a guy and he's 18 and over, and especially when he's in his late 20s, he is who he is, and he's going to be who he is no matter what you do, no matter what you try to do, no matter how much you love him, no matter how much you change for him, he is going to be him. People generally do not change. People either get better, they get worse, or they stay constant, which means they stay the same. You can get better at a behavior by, making certain changes in the behavior. You can get worse at a behavior, but you're always going to be that person. Like alcoholics. You're always going to be labeled alcoholic. You either get better and get sober, you get worse, you hit rock bottom, or you just stay stagnant in your alcoholism. People, especially men, do not change. Women, we are way more willing to bend over backwards and do all this crazy stuff for guys. Even I have done it. And that guy still will not change. Nothing about him is changing. If you find yourself doing that, you're giving too much of yourself up. Don't be so worn out from one boyfriend that when the good guy, the guy for you, the one that God blesses you with, comes along, that you don't even know what to do with him. And you're so broken as a woman that that relationship won't even work. And that's probably going to be the one that is supposed to work. You don't want to be so broken. You don't want to be a half of a person. Don't let a relationship beat you down. Beat the relationship. Come out stronger than you came into a relationship. Everything you do should be a teaching moment, should be a learning moment, should be a learning experience. Everything you do, even relationships. So if you're with a guy and and you're asking him, hey, you know, can you try to do this and try to do that? It's not going to happen. He's not going to change. His personality and who he is who he is. If you don't like who he is, move on. Now, the last one. Never get involved with a married man. They will not leave their wives. Listen to me when I say they will not leave their wives. If they do leave their wives, most relationships statistically showing that come out of fidelity will fail. That's over 75% of relationships that come out of infidelity will fail on either side of it. So if women, you're married and you're messing around with a single man and you think you're going to leave your husband, it's going to fail. Women, it's especially for you. If you get involved with a married man, even if he leaves his wife for you, he's going to do it to you. And God forbid y'all have kids together. Don't think about what feels good in the now. Think about the future. That is my main thing to get across to all girls. Think about the future. Don't do things so quickly just on a whim because it feels good. Because everything that feels good ain't good for you. Okay, it's really not. So please understand, being involved with a married man is never anything good. And from a religious standpoint, it's a sin. And it's awful and it's bad and nothing good. God has no part in sin. Wherever there is sin, he has no part. So don't think you're going to be praying to God that he leave his wife, because he's not going to. If he tells you he's going to leave his wife, he's not going to. And even if he does, please believe he's still messing with his wife. So don't be the mistress, the sideline hoe, or anything like that. That's not what you want your label to be. Your label should be Mrs. somebody or Ms. somebody that has a boyfriend of somebody totally single. And if you do happen to date a married man and you don't know he's married, when you find out, don't try to convince him to leave his wife. Don't get upset at the fact he has a wife. Get the information, use the information. Knowledge is power. So if you find out he's married, run. Go in the opposite direction of where he's at, because he will not leave his wife. He won't leave his wife no matter how long, how many promises he make. He's not going to leave. And like I said, if he leaves, he's going to do it to you. If they'll do it with you, they will do it to you. So that's my list of 5 things of kind of words of wisdom to live by in relationships. And, you know, I hope you guys really appreciate it. And now my quote of the day that I'm going to have is also about being in love. And it's by an anonymous person. The quote is, fall in love when you're ready, not when you're lonely. Sometimes women, I like this quote because sometimes women, we have a tendency to get so lonely and down in the dumps that we'll pretty much take whatever and then call it love, when it's really not. It's a hot ghetto mess. It's a hot, fabulous mess. Okay? I call it a fabulous mess because you think it's great because you can call your girlfriend, hey girl, I got a boyfriend and he is so cute. If you find yourself having to do that all the time, it's probably not. It's probably not even what it's cracked up to be. It's probably not what you're trying to portray. So just be real with yourself. Don't fall in love off of the emotional fact that you're at home sitting on the couch by yourself, or because your girlfriends have boyfriends. Fall in love when you're ready to be committed and monogamous with one person, and that one person is ready to be committed and monogamous with you. All right, ladies and gents, especially my ladies and my young women of the world, I hope you guys appreciated my blog for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.